what's going on? It's Twintuitive 717. I'm back with another video. I hope you guys are doing great. I just want to thank you guys for hanging in there with me. It's been a crazy month because my son started school for the first time, and I'm sure as a mom listening, or any of you that might resonate with your little ones going to school for the first time, it's just an emotional experience, and sometimes you kind of need some space to deal with just letting them go and be out there in the world. So thank you for all of you for being patient with me. So I wanted to share a quick reading with you guys tonight. I won't keep it too long, but of course there are just messages that need to get out because the masculine energies have really been going through a lot of transformation in terms of like seeing their reality for what it is. And what I'm getting out of this is like they're learning to see unemotional relationships for what they are, and that's the King of Swords energy that comes up in the Fairy Tarot. So it's actually the King of Winter. It's like some type of knowledge coming in that's necessary for us to know at this time. And I feel for many of your masculines, they're aging. A lot of them are getting older in life, or maybe it's not that they're older. Maybe that it may be that like you guys have spent a lot of years together in your connection trying to bring it forward in the physical, and because it hasn't manifested in the physical, the only thing that can happen now at this time is divine intervention with the white owl. And it's just like knowledge that needs to come, experience. Maybe they're having a lot of tower moments, but the King of Swords is really great at putting up emotional boundaries as well with the sword. So it's like cutting things off that that are not good for you, and just being fair about it as well. So they're learning to pick sense from nonsense, I guess, is what you can say in their physical reality. And so you might find that karmic relationships are coming to a rapid end in their life. So maybe a lot of you are like getting a lot of disconnect from your masculines. I would take the disconnect as a good sign of wanting or needing to gain clarity. Okay, and oftentimes it's like, think about it logically. If your energy was not that intense in someone's life, they wouldn't need to block you, or they wouldn't need to like try to physically remove you from their reality if they didn't have control over themselves, right? Otherwise it would just be like, okay, meh, whatever, like I don't need to pay attention to this person. But because they actually need to physically go and like find means and ways of blocking you out of their reality, it means that your energy or presence is that strong in their 3D life, and it's like affecting them in a way where they themselves need to bring proper clarity to that. Because the Three of Swords is coming up here, and I feel like the constant thoughts of you, they need to reach out and connect with people who they trust right now to share the thoughts of you with, if that makes sense. So they're experiencing this twin flame connection, but they need to talk to people about it who they trust, who have wisdom, who is there to guide them on the right path. And I feel like with the bear energy, they're actually intuitively knowing who to reach out to at this time to actually speak about the connection and gain the right insights that they need in order to move forward. And like for some reason, like I'm getting like a sense of fairness with the bear as well, like really good wise counsel about humanity coming together in this very loving and earthly energetic way. So like blending cultures, blending societies together, blending races, cultures, like whatever the issue is that's like creating obstacles, the bear energy is there to kind of like blend the twin flames together no matter what is standing in the way. Especially because the masculine is having to take on the King of Swords energy right now in his life. But the fairy cards end off with the Nine of Cups, which means that, nothing can really get in the way of true love, because I think that many of you feel like the way you feel about your twin flame is like you hit the lottery when it comes to love. Like the way you feel about them is unlike the way you felt about anyone in your entire life. And it's a wish come true kind of thing, which is why all of the sparkly stars are there. Some of you might even resonate with the poem Starlight, Starbright, the first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. Because I think that many of you have said that about love, and especially from like a young age with the representation of this figurine that I choose to use, and even the cute little sheep here, the little black sheep of the family, the one that's always believed that the impossible is possible. But yeah, like the Nine of Cups is coming up because I think that this is like a reality for you, and the more you accept it rather than deny it, the quicker it'll manifest into your life, and that speaks volumes about the twin flame journey. So the masculines are in the Knight of Pentacles energy as well too, because like for me the Knights are all about action. If I can pick this card up. My goodness. Okay. So the Knight of Pentacles, it's like he's willing to let go of all of his possessions and rebuild, is what I get with this card. Because every time I see Pentacles, and it's like he only has one in his hand right now, the horse is like the confidence to charge forward in the material world and start over. So this is a masculine that's very like skilled and experienced, and he's really good with dealing with change. So there's a lot that's coming up in this masculine's life in terms of moving forward with the connection with the feminine, but it's all very like positive, because I feel like the overall spread talks about like letting go of the old, unemotional, unfulfilling side of life and embracing the more passionate sides of life, which is the side of life that the feminine has awoken. And this is bringing up a lot of change. So if many of you are seeing fives along with feeling low energy, then it's your masculine experiencing like the awakening. And sometimes like when you do experience the awakening or the changes that are coming up in your reality, it does make you feel tired or drained, because you're kind of like shedding old cycles and old versions of yourself. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of the Six of Swords energy here, where you have all of these thoughts about like the way you thought life was going, and then all of a sudden you're moving in a different direction, but at the same time you kind of need some like rest and recuperation and a break from like the old life, and just kind of taking your time to absorb the new emotions, hence being on the water of this new passionate energy and life that you're moving towards, with the wands here kind of rowing the boat, right? The wands is kind of like leading the way, because it's like you're letting go of like the thoughts that held you back with the swords, and the wands is leading the way. And like to me, it's almost like there you are, and your higher self is like, it's okay, we're good, we got this. It's like, you know, even though you might be feeling the repercussions of like these regrets with the swords energy here, because regrets are only just like thoughts of the past, is all it is. But you know what? Like our higher self will always step in to be like, I got your back. Like this might be your angels, this might be your higher self, it might be channeling that you're receiving divine spiritual messages about your connection, about your life, about your path. But it's always there, and it's always got your back, okay? So this is a really good card. The Ten of Swords comes up as like a completion. Like you can take it. You can take any thought that comes your way. Like you're like, you know what, I surrender. Take me. Take me into the darkness. Bring me back to life. You know, that evanescence energy. Because I think like many of you have kind of like grown at this point, and you can realize like the messages your masculine is sending you about his reality. Like for many of you, it's become repetitive at this point, which is what's given you the confidence to kind of kick your feet up and relax a little bit, because, you know, at the end of the day, they are advancing like one, and now they have 8. So they're constantly advancing with the 8 energy coming in there, and, you know, they're really moving towards the divine feminine. But, you know, again, like as I mentioned, they're not going to come forward unless like they have a good offer, which is what they're working on. And then they'll come forward when it comes to matters of the heart with the Knight of Cups. Because again, with the horse there and the heart energy and like, offering what they have, and it might be only one cup, but at the end of the day, they're confident enough to come forward and offer it, is because they've spent all of this time, kind of like preparing for the connection. And I feel like preparing for the connection has come with like thoughts about how the feminine makes me feel versus how the karmic situation makes me feel. And like the karmic situation doesn't always have to be like another marriage or partnership. It could just be like life without the feminine, period. Like bachelor life, life with just kind of like living with your friends or like your boys or hanging out, like doing whatever on the weekends. Like anything that keeps you away from like fulfilling this like action when it comes to like fulfilling what you want when it comes to matters of the heart. Everybody thinks about wanting someone in their bed at night. And when the masculine thinks about this aspect of his life, especially the more he ages, it's like, yeah, for sure, it's definitely taking action towards the feminine. Because the Four of Cups, which we know came out in the written reading, it's like no matter how much he tries to be creative in the outside world, he's always going to have this like tantrum energy where it's like, if I can't have you, then, it doesn't really matter because it's just not satisfying. And that's the universe offering him that cup, because it's the universe kind of like giving the cup to the knight saying, go take action. It's like, don't just sit there and sulk. Take the cup and go take action towards her, because, nothing can happen without action. This change energy. Like, look at this beautiful mandala, insinuating change into our lives. Nothing positive or exciting, romantic, exhilarating can happen without change, whether it's on your divine masculine's part or on the feminine's part. At the end of the day, what this spread says to me is if you guys are feeling each other, feeling the sexual attraction, the desire to be with one another, how you bring this together in the physical is by coming towards one another in a way that makes sense. All right? I love you guys. I hope this reading resonates with you. Take care of yourselves, and I will catch you in the next reading, okay? Take care, guys. I love you, and I'll speak to you soon.